All right, dude. Couple strategies for getting duration on your place bed, calming the dog down. So you can do stuff. We have these lick mats, calms, um, any kind of long lasting chew, bully sticks, or high values. They last kind of long depending on the dog, but they're real high value. And anything chewing and licking is calming, right? This is a beef knuckle bone. There's all kinds of other ones that you can find. Uh, Frozen marrow bones. Then when they get all the marrow out of it, you can stuff it with peanut butter or with wet food. So I have wet food, but I've watered mine down. Um, but you just restuff it with that and then refreeze it, right? And that takes a long time. So you want to watch a movie or something, get them on the place bed, give them the bone. They're gonna leave you alone. So in the column is just the regular kibble. I put some mini milk bones, right? So one thing I noticed is I put a couple handfuls. I used to break them up, and then I was like, yeah, that's stupid, because they're small anyways. So I used to break them in half so that way it would be the same size as the kibble. So that's stupid. So you have this is a puppy, so don't get a puppy if you have an adult dog, or if you have a small dog, it's okay. Puppy or small dog. Red is your average chewer. Black is your monster chewer, and as you see, I've had some monster chewers that have killed the blacks. This is just a different shape. Right. So usually what they'll do is they'll figure out how to get the food out, and then they start throwing it around to get the rest of the food out, and then they go lay down. Is the idea. I usually give them in the crate so they don't throw them around, and they just lick and work it to get all the food out. Now did see a girl recently. She said she doesn't give anything inside the crate. However, some dogs need help. I've got one coming that is not a fan of the crates, and they're all going to be in crates. Right. So this lick mat, you can put peanut butter on it. I've seen people do that. I don't like doing it. I think it's too much peanut butter. So the lick mats, I put the wet food. This is a kind of big one. The dog's kind of small, so I'm not gonna fill it up. So you just put it on there. You can do straight wet food, right? I'm a cheapo, and I stretch it out with water, right? And you just put it on there, slide it around, and freeze it. If you like the first one or two, if you do where you don't freeze it, make it super easy for them. I think with this though, they figure it out super fast. The Kongs are a little bit harder if you freeze them from the start, but I think most dogs figure it out anyways. We just put a nice little bit. What's that? 2 full tablespoons of meat. So if you notice, if you're giving your dog one of these and one of these in a day, you reduce their amount of food in uh, their meals. Right? Put that shit in the freezer. And this one, they sent me this cool one that was the dog that's coming for a rescue that I work with, and they actually has a thing where you can connect it onto the crate, right? So they have to sit there and lick it. Maybe it's for bigger dogs. I personally, I'm guessing that they do that so that way they don't start moving it around and chewing on it because I've had a couple get ate up. Um, I don't know if I like it because it makes them lay weird. Where if this is on the ground, they lay there and lick it, and that's the idea is they're going to lick it and settle down, right? So there's that. Okay. So back to this food. Any other sweets you want to get it put in there? If you get pepperonis, right? Break pieces of pepperonis, and I used to do all that kind of stuff. I settled it down to just this. So at first, you're just going to take and you're just going to put the food in there straight. Okay. Because at first it's got to be easy if they've never done it. If they're experienced with the cone, then we're going to get into all that other stuff. So you just put the food in there. It's about a quarter to a third of a cup. So if you feed 2.5 cups a meal, you give one of these, then you would give them 2¼ cups or right at 2 cups. And then you just top this part off with peanut butter. If the dog doesn't like peanut butter, which I have one that doesn't like peanut butter, I put the wet food at the top just to fill it up. Right? So that is, let's see, let me go ahead and put this one. And then, all right, you just take a nice little, oh, that's probably too much. A little wad of peanut butter, stick it down there at the end, boom. The first couple, don't even freeze, just put just like that, nice and easy. It's going to take them 30 seconds. It'll take them no time at all. But that's what you want at first so they understand. After a few days, after a few times of these, they're going to have to do like this. Double dipping, right? And then you start making it harder, right? You're going to fill up this little bottom hole because now you're putting wet food in it. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. You have to put wet food in it. You need to put wet food. Now, I've seen some people with like separation anxiety, they'll just totally fill that up with the wet food, right? So what the wet food does is when you freeze it, it makes it a little bit harder, right? I put too much food in here. It's gonna end up being somebody's dinner, part of somebody's dinner, right? Oh, because I was thinking 3. I forgot I was making an easy one, right? So you just fill it up in there. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Boom, 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 boom. Now, all this stuff is to help out. You can't use this stuff and not exercise your dog. You have to exercise your dog. This enrichment stuff, some people push it so hard and they don't tell you to exercise your dog. This can't take the place of working with your dog and exercising your dog. This is in addition. This is in addition, right? So now it's nice and full. You just got that end piece, little wad of peanut butter, stuff it down on there. Bam. Now you freeze it. All right. Bam, bam, bam. That's your step 2. That's your step 2 one. Okay. Now for your third step, I should have done this already. Make hot water. For your third step, you take hot water or chicken broth if you have chicken broth. It's really good. Or beef broth. You can buy canned stuff, or if you just have stuff. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the water. You're gonna get it hot, and then you put the water in there. So what happens is it makes it really soak up, and then it makes it all like it's wet food. Right? Even your kibble, it soaks the water up, so it makes it kind of spongy like wet food. Put the water in there. You let it soak about 10 minutes. I'm gonna pause. All right. So I'm not gonna wait for it to get all soaked up. I'm just gonna do this. So what you do is you put the water in there. If you have a half a cup of food, you're gonna put a quarter cup of hot water, maybe a little bit more, and then you're gonna let it soak. All right, you're gonna let it soak up. And if you find that they're not working for the calm, maybe we skipped a step and made it too hard too fast. Then you can unfreeze it, take it out of the freezer for 20 minutes before you give it to them. Right. I am notorious for going too fast, but I figure they usually figure it out. Right. So let's say all this water is soaked in. You just stuff it up in there. Boom, 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 boom. And you like it to be a little bit juicy. You don't want to be totally soaked up. If it's a little bit juicy, it makes it more like an ice cube in there. And then the more like an ice cube, the harder it is for them to work. The longer it takes, the tireder they get. All right. Bam, bam, bam. All right. Oh, crap. Watch out. And now it's got wet food all over it, so I can't put it back in the jar. But I'm done, so it doesn't matter. Right? So boom. Don't waste no peanut butter, man. Put that on there. Put that on there. Put that on there, man. We ain't trying to waste no peanut butter, man. You'll lick that off of there. So boom. There you have it. Frozen. If they weren't ready for it to be frozen yet, it just takes a couple times of each, right? So a couple times of it, not having nothing. Then a couple times of it with wet food frozen for 20 minutes, right? And then man, let that sit right there. Oh man, I forgot about this stuff. I'm not used to it. Um, so I'm not usually big on calming supplements, but this dog that's coming is not a great fan. And they have these pretty cool things, calming peanut butter, right? So anytime you're doing something, the key with stuff like that is, like say the calming treats, you gotta give it to them before it's the stressful time. Like they don't like the crack. You gotta give it to them before you put them in the face. Come on now, boys. So, all right, come on. Work it. Work, baby, work. Mm-hmm. So now and we're gonna look at this calming peanut butter. We'll look at it together. See what it looks like. Let me get this filled up. Chico, what's up, dude? Oh, all right, close that up. Oh, I need my hand. Hold on. Put that right there. Let's look at this. Oh, I see. I get it. Something tells me we need to do something like this because it looked like I see oil in it. Yeah, peanut butter separates when it's not what's that called? Partially hydrogenated oil. Look at that stuff. Wow, let's see. Ooze up out of there. Pet Naturals Busy Butter. It looks amazing. Let me smell it. Shut up, boy. The dog downstairs yells at everything. Raiders, settle down. We can't waste no food. All right, what's that? Oh, I didn't put any under here. I didn't close it off. All right, bam. Then you put that in the freezer. If you're worried about it juicing out, lay it on top of a paper towel. Move that stuff out of the way. Put that right there. Because it is kind of soft peanut butter. Alright. Anyways, that's that. Beef knuckle bones. They have like antlers. There's all kinds of stuff. And don't let them always have access to this stuff. Right? This is for when you're trying to make them do duration and you want them to be quiet and chill. Right? You give them bully stick, a beef knuckle bone, the marrow bone. It's only when you're doing that. Right? If they have access to this all the time, and you try to put them on their bed or in their crate with one of these, it's gonna be like, yeah, whatever, no big deal. They can't have access all the time. It's special occasion stuff, right? All right, we're out here.